in the movie.
Wait, it's like
That's true. This, what are they? Soul bullets?
Sure.
Freeze, it's me, Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Bridges.
Wrong guy.
He spent all that time working on his spook voice. He couldn't let it go. Like, it was wasted.
This is a classic case of where Jeff Bridges was going to be on the lot for like 3 weeks straight. They just walked him between movies while he did the accent.
Right.
And they were like, just keep it. Just keep the marbles in there.
Very distracting.
He just changed hats
right.
as he moved between sets. But he had to keep whatever was in his mouth in his mouth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had
marble
fake teeth
mouth
or something, right?
Oh, yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he did for the other one.
Yeah.
Cotton.
Right.
Ew, that would be so sick.
Well, hello and welcome to another date night D-list movie review. That's how that goes. This week we watched R.I.P.D. from 2013, continuing our Cottonmouth Jeff Bridges. Have we done another Ryan Reynolds D-list?
I was going to say
Green Lantern.
The overlap of this movie is very high.
Maybe we should do.
I need a break from Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds.
Are you sure you don't want to do? What's that movie where he's in a video game?
Tron.
Tron. I like that movie.
I haven't seen the new Tron.
Is that it though?
Were we talking about Jeff Bridges? The
I don't
old
know
Tron.
who we're talking about,
I haven't seen
neither of
any
them are in
Tron.
that.
I haven't seen old Tron.
Okay.
I haven't seen new Tron.
Sorry.
I was talking about Ryan Reynolds being in a video game.
Oh, Free Guy?
That movie's not so bad.
I did.
You could probably.
You could definitely delist.
You could delist it.
You could delist
but it's
it.
kind of. It's just boring. It's not necessarily
It's
like
just
good
sort
or
of
bad. It's just kind of like.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, this movie is anything but. A cop killed by his own partner joins R.I.P.D. What does that stand for, Emily?
Rest in peace, division.
No,
Rest in
it's
peace,
the rest.
department.
No, rest in police department.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah, you're right.
No,
it
it's
is.
not. No, it's not. It's obviously
Isn't
rest in
it?
peace department.
I don't.
But it's definitely
now.
department.
Yeah.
Division.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up. I'm reading my other notes.
Oh, my goodness. An afterlife law enforcement department working to apprehend various monsters disguised as humans living on Earth and gets paired up with a smart-mouthed veteran.
Okay.
It's about right.
Could it also be the Rip in Peace department? That could be.
Rip
I
It
in
could
peace.
be a
don't-
lot of things.
I feel like I don't have a lot to say about this. I don't like this movie.
That's good. That means it qualified for a D list.
Well, yeah, here's my test. If anybody out there has a mild interest in watching this, do you recommend it? Do you think it's worth their time?
No.
No. I like
'Cause this is
Seven Sons more than this.
This was either a movie or, sorry, it's either a movie or a, oh my God, I just had an aneurysm because I clicked on the live YouTube of this.
I saw
And-
your eyes like light up for a second.
I had a seizure, I think. That was mind-blowing. Okay.
Hey, hello and welcome to the show, Joe.
Oh, thank
Welcome to the show,
You
Joe.
were like,
you. I'm still
calling
We're
guests.
falling
bad.
apart. We've got guests flying in. This is great already.
Oh my, I've never had something like that happen to me. That hurt my forehead.
We
What
have
was
like
I talking
video evidence.
You were
saying this
trying
is
to make
either
an argument for
something.
why this is not worth
Joe.
anyone's time. We got another Joe. Hey, Joe. We got Joe and Joe. Welcome to the show.
And I totally lost my train of thought. So
well,
sorry for
okay,
wasting
here's
a
the
minute
thing.
of time.
Right off the bat, I
so
think
scary.
I agree with you that of all the D-list, not all, but of many of the D-list movies that we've watched, I didn't necessarily have a bad time watching this, but would I ever suggest somebody go and spend their time to watch it?
Probably not.
No, because I don't feel like there's nothing to be gained
There's
there.
nothing here.
Yeah.
It's not like there are some where I was like, well, like what was the last one we did? Seventh Son.
Yeah, that one's kind of like goofy
That was
interesting.
just that one's just weird enough
Yeah.
where it's not a waste of time. It's not good. That movie was not good, but it was weird enough that like what's a spook? Why is there a 6th level monster?
Ghetto.
I love spook.
Oh, I remembered. I was going to say this is either based off of a comic book or a group of novels. So if you're interested in this concept, which I think is an okay concept, just go read whatever those are. Don't watch this.
I did see that. I think there's comic books, which I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea for a comic book.
Absolutely work as a comic book.
That works.
Yep.
I think the one place that this movie fails to sell the world is you cannot explain the monsters in one sentence. Because I didn't pick up on...
I don't
Yeah, we'll kind of get into that, too.
Right, and I think they say in one sentence that people who didn't want to die or fall through the cracks of the system, there are people who died but didn't go to the afterlife, but they then become monsters.
So then, like, their soul rots.
It's an administrative error that results in...
Well, I don't know.
And
it
this
made it seem like they just
department
chose not to go to
I
the
didn't
afterlife,
understand
which
it.
I'm like, can you choose that? But I don't know. But it's only bad people that choose that.
Apparently, and then their sins in life manifest in them as a monster now in the app. But
is that honestly what this movie said it happened?
Yeah, they say that in like one sentence. Like the guy, like the first sort of like monster guy that they see, he has the big mouth because he was a snitch.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
It doesn't quite make sense.
I did not gather that.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Okay.
Okay, but I did read. So this was 2013. They spent $154 million to make it.
My gosh.
In the first weekend, it made $12 million. In the first weekend.
I don't know where that money went. This is like a laundering thing. This was a project to launder $100 million. They spent 34 of it on the movie.
They ended with $78 million total.
I believe it.
Did it open? I mean, I was around in 2013. I never heard of this. I never heard of this, which is crazy to me because
someone said they walked out on it.
Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds, though, but somebody knew this was bad. So the 150 mil got
just
spent.
Went to Jeff Bridges.
Then somebody saw the movie and they were like, "Well, we're not going to waste any money marketing this. We're just going to call it a loss.
We're just going to, you ship it and you forget about it."
And because that's what you see a lot of times. They're like $120 million to make and made $150 million in the movie, but it was $200 million of marketing money that was lost or whatever.
And you're like,
I never even heard of this. And
you can half the budget by just not advertising for it, right?
I think you'll
Makes
get
sense.
to it, Em. Obviously, you will as we go through the movie. But there is clearly a point at which it feels like there's a story being created, a story being set up, and then it was like, this is like a 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
It's like very fast.
Somebody was like, nope, this all sucks. We don't want to pay for any more shitty CG.
Yeah.
And they finished it and put it out, and they're like, nah. Like somebody somewhere made a decision to say this is bad.
This was we have to dump this project.
We're dumping it
mid-project, basically.
It's obvious. Like there's stuff that gets set up that disappears.
That's like that's true.
Yeah.
Well, you ready?
Well, I was going to say I had to frame this based on when did Men in Black 1 come out?
Yeah, when did it?
16 years earlier.
Okay, I was going to say that was way earlier. Okay.
And then this is also 2 years after Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
So
tough era for him,
couple of
right? The early 2010s. That's brutal. But
boy, he really, man.
Look at
here
this.
we go.
Why did Jeff Bridges have two guns?
And why is Jeff
he's like
Bridges
a Western marshal guy?
Why is he the comedic relief, but Ryan Reynolds is the straight man?
I don't know. That is really weird.
I don't know.
I don't know. Wait, when was Seventh Son? Was that
probably also 2013?
2011?
I'll look it up.
I bet if it was 2011, that would mean it was 1 year after this, 2014. So Jeff Bridges really.
So he did this.
This is back to back. He shot this. He walked from one to the other.
He was creating the voice.
Yeah. He clearly was like, I have this really good voice if you guys are all for it.
But I need you to put teeth in for me to
I need you to help me out.
But here, in 1997, I liked Men in Black.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
But if Men in Black came out in 2013, well, Men in Black's better than this anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
No matter
that's
what.
It's not even a fair.
Yeah.
Even the CG's better.
It is.
No, what the hell? Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that was a budgeting thing too, right? Somebody
mean,
saw
it
the
must have
movie
been.
and they said, "Stop making the CGI look good. Like, don't put
Yeah,
that last
don't even
6
do
months
it.
of work in.
Right,
Just
we're done.
use the rough models.
Right?
Just let them
Right.
like 3D shape down the road. Yeah,
Like,
I
they're-
wish they
they're
would have
gonna
just
look like
done like
cartoons.
makeup. Like do
it should
makeup
have just
on
been
them.
makeup. Yeah,
You don't
for
need
sure.
to do like CG. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
But then how do they CGI them flying onto the side of a... Why can they walk on
Well,
the side
Why
of the
can
buildings?
he walk on the side of the building?
Is it because he was sticky and I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna get into this. Oh wait,
There's nothing to talk about. There's no reason he could walk on the side of the building.
I like Joey just loving the accent. Yeah, he was clearly really into his accent, so he just kept it going. We
Yeah.
need to find other movies he did around this time to see if he had the same
Hold
thing
on.
going on.
Jeff Bridges. I'll research. You get us
Okay.
started.
Okay, so the movie opens up with a quote, which I really enjoy. It's Ryan Reynolds. And he's like, "Think you've had a bad day at work?" And it's like freeze framing, like the like
It does the record
like,
scratch.
Yeah. And he's like, "I think I've got you beat." And then it keeps freeze framing. And he's like, "Nope, that's not me." When it goes to a bad guy, and that's like, "Nope, that's not me either." And you're like, "Dear Lord, what's going on?" And then we backtrack 3 or 4 days ago, which I don't know why it's
Right,
not.
made clear.
It's just 3 or 4 days ago.
It's a what is it in where you can't believe the narrator? Like the narrator's not
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah. That's
So
has a phrase, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, his name is Nick in this, he's digging a hole at night. And he puts in the bottom of the hole a giant like gold medallion, like wrapped in cloth.
Right.
And it's
Talisman.
like a size of a plate. Like it's huge, right? It's all broken up like in a cloth. He puts it in, puts a plant over it. And then you see him wake up the next morning. It's him and his wife. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, you planted an orange tree," and all this crap.
In Boston.
In Boston, they're like incredibly flirty and in love. Ben thought that was realistic. I said, "No way, Jose." But
Yeah. Well, they don't have any kids.
One can hope.
So that's one of the reasons.
but like
that's true.
they were married and they own the house like as if they've been there for a while. So I don't know. It just seemed very like we've been dating for 1 week, and it was just kind of weird. But that's when she's like, "I love my life. Everything about it is perfect," and so that's what you get out of it.
foreshadowing.
Yeah. So then he goes to work. He works for the police department in Boston. And who's there? Kevin Bacon's there, baby.
I was surprised when
I
I
did
saw
not know.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And he's a major role in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Right?
he's not even listed here if I go to the IMDb stars.
No,
Jeffrey
really?
Donovan. No wait.
He scrubbed
that's
himself of it?
R.I.P.D. too.
Mr. Bacon.
There's
He's
not
not
an
in
R.I.P.
Sorry.
There is, Ken, and
There
you're
is an
gonna watch
R.I.P.D.
it,
too.
baby.
When did it come
No.
out?
It came out last year.
No way.
Yes,
Rise.
you know what it
Recruited by-
is. So we need to talk about this at the end, but it is Roy. It's like if he went back into before he got killed, or he gets sent back to his time period. So it's like a young him.
A resurrected sheriff returns
Yeah.
to Earth to save humanity from a gateway to hell. Oh man.
We're gonna
This
watch
looks
it.
better
so.
than what we watched.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to watch it, though. Okay. So Kev is in the police department. He is Nick's partner. So he right away is like, "What'd you do with yours?" And he's like, "I buried it." And so Nick looks super rough. He's like, "I'm out. I can't do this." And Kev right away is like, "Hey, we didn't know we were going to find gold, man. It's not a big deal. Like, shut the fuck up." But Nick's not having it. He says he's out. Kev looks a little disappointed. But he's like, "You know what? You're right. This is too stressful. I'm out too." So clearly they like stole some gold from some job that
Yeah.
they found.
Right.
Then the head of the police department's like, "We got," I don't know the guy's name. "We got Maloney." I don't know, whatever.
Right, that's
Jeff
exactly
Bridges?
the same.
No, it's like the bad guy that they're all trying to hunt down. They're like, "Everybody get in your cars. We got the
Right.
guy."
Oh.
Chief's like,
Yeah.
right. We finally nailed down
We're going to say Maloney.
Dark
I don't know what
Off.
his name is.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
We got
yeah.
him.
So
The
they
meth
all
dealer.
like everybody gets in the cars. They got helicopters, the whole thing.
Mr. Meth.
And on the way, Ryan Reynolds is like on the intercom and he's like, hey, my partner says nobody get shot today. Like he's comic relief then.
You ever going to take that charm off?
Yeah, so foreshadowing here. So Kev, a.k.a.
We need a
Hayes,
foreshadowing bell.
I kid you not. I was
never saw this.
I tuned out of this movie so fast. I don't like. I remember like them like rushing a building. I don't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The video game scene of the building.
Well,
like
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nothing professional about that scene at all.
No.
Right.
So on the way there, yeah, he's like, man, Hayes never takes off his good luck charm. That's the foreshadowing right there. So when we get there, it's like Dukes of Hazzard when they entered the lot.
Yeah.
It is like zooming in and out, and the cars are like all over the place.
Well, that's what I find. Like, what
It's
was that
very
about? The
weird.
camera shots of like quick turn and then zoom in. Like, honestly,
over.
like the way like Dukes of Hazzard or
was weird.
something. I didn't understand the cinematography of this was so
But later, it didn't really have that.
Weird.
So
do that in the
once
second
again,
half.
maybe
This
somebody
is
quit.
part of a different movie, even.
all right,
I don't know.
right?
So when they get to the building, like you said, big warehouse, like metal shop, I don't know. They burst in, and it's just like if you had 20 police
Bad
officers
guys.
firing on 20 bad guys, just like loose. Everybody's loose in the building, and it is wild.
You know what it reminded me of?
It's crazy.
Of in a war zone, like the island where there's the prison.
Oh yeah, you're just like people are chasing each other around like a Scooby Doo scene, right?
Yeah.
They're going into
That's what it
doors
was
and
like.
coming out other ones, shooting
Right.
at each other.
Every
Yeah.
time you turn, there's another dude, and
Another
whoever
bad
pulls the
guy.
trigger first.
Yeah, that's what it was. So Nick sees the main bad guy. He chases him upstairs, but when he gets up there, he's gone. He turns around, and Kevin Bacon's there, and he's like, man, the guy got away. And Kev is like, you know what? I really want that gold. And he like shoots him like 3 times or something.
Lights him up.
Boom. He falls out like 3
Well-
stories down, dead.
And I want Kevin Bacon has a different gun. Remember, he was shotgun guy, and
That's
now all of a
true.
sudden he's got a automatic rifle.
He clearly.
Where did he get that from?
Well, he probably was working with the bad
And
guys.
was it the bad guy who ran upstairs, or was it Kevin Bacon disguised as the? Was this a setup the
No,
whole time?
it was a bad guy. He just saw that he was by himself.
Is
Doesn't
Kevin
matter.
Bacon?
You'll never get the answer.
I know.
Yeah.
Is Kevin
Nobody else has
Bacon
thought about this.
taking advantage of the situation?
Yeah.
Or
Or
was
was it
the
a setup?
whole thing a setup?
No, I think
I think
he was
it was a
taking
setup.
advantage of it.
But
You
we'll
think he
never
was in
know.
on it the whole time? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Because sometimes he seems mastermind, and sometimes he seems like he's barely keeping up. So
He's barely
Yeah.
keeping up.
I don't know which one it is.
He couldn't figure out where he hid the gold, and there's a goddamn orange tree out back. Like, ding, ding, ding.
In
So,
Boston.
Come on.
Which he one arms up. I
Yeah,
mean,
also,
I know
I'm
it
like,
was
you did
freshly
not
planted,
plant
but
that,
he just
though. No, he
orange
took it
tree
out
out
like
of the
it was
way.
like a, yeah, okay.
Poor installation.
So obviously we saw Nick die. So he stands up and everything around him is frozen.
you
he's
see
stuck
him.
in time.
They show him hit the ground.
It's like neck first.
It's not like
which
you
you're
kind of like
"Ugh."
it's off screen.
He's dead.
It's like nope.
He's dead.
No, he's dead.
He's like rubbery. It's very CGI weird.
When he wakes up though and everything's frozen, he like walks around. There is so much fire in that goddamn warehouse.
Yeah, all of a
It
sudden.
is like everyone is lit on fire. If you freezed it when everyone like burst into flames, which makes no sense.
What I didn't understand and never came up again was the scene that is around him when he is dead, because everything when he
Yeah.
dies, everything freezes in place, and he walks through this like
people are
frozen
shooting,
set.
but no one was like throwing gasoline on everyone. Like
it has like somebody choreographed, like somebody was like, this is gonna be here, this is gonna be here. What story were they trying to tell with that scene? Because it's a completely different
it was
one
wild.
than what we saw in the actual camera shots. We saw camera shots of people like going in, shooting guys, and now we see this wide open space. Explosions everywhere, fire.
Yeah.
There's cop cars in the air.
yeah,
There's
when
people
he
being
goes outside, there's like
blown backwards.
a cop car flipping upside down, exploding.
When
How?
Kevin Bacon turned on Ryan Reynolds,
What
did
happened?
was it all a setup? And the cops were also set up as
Once
well.
again, you're
also,
thinking way too much into this, Ben.
if none of them, if any of the other police officers had died, would he had seen them? in his freeze frame, or does everybody get an individual freeze frame?
No, I think he would see them because we.
So
find
none
that
of the
out
other
later.
ones died because clearly they were like in explosions.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. So
All right.
he walks outside. There's literally a police car in the air blowing up. I don't know how that would have happened. They were all parked, but okay. Then he looks up. He's zoomed up into the air into like a wormhole. You can see other people kind of doing the same around the world. And then he's zoomed into a chair like in a police interrogation room. There's a lady police officer talking to him. And she's like, hey, it might take you a while to like take all this in. So this is him in the afterlife, wherever, heaven, I don't know.
Administration, right?
Yeah.
This is where people fall through the cracks.
Yeah. So this is when she's like, you have skills we want. So, okay. This is when she's like, you can take your chance with judgment. I don't think he's a bad guy. So sure. Like
I don't know. He stole that
I
gold.
don't-
Yeah, she makes it
Well,
clear
that's
that
the
he
thing.
was a dirty cop.
Or you can join the R.I.P.D. You're right. Rest in
And
peace
dirty
department.
cops are
The
judged
Rip and
harshly.
Peace Department. Yeah.
This is when she's like, yeah, dead people who have escaped judgment, pretend not to be dead. You can catch them, ship them back up here. We'll take care of them. Or you can, see how you do on Judgment Day. But, like, he took one thing.
Doesn't
so
she
are we
have-
all, like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Doesn't she have like
We
a
all
Baja
have to join the
Blast?
R.I.P.D.
I'll have to join. Shit.
Doesn't
It's
she have
in
a
the New
Baja
Testament.
Blast on the desk too?
I don't
I
know.
don't
She
know,
has
does she?
something.
She's got some big drink.
Anyway, he says, sure, let's do it. Essentially, though, you can tell he's, like, hoping he can, like, see his wife again or
Sneak
whatever.
out or something.
Yeah.
Or...
You mean I get to go back? I'm in.
Which also doesn't make sense. She's like, we'll let you have Boston. Why? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That seems like a red flag right there.
Yeah,
Nobody
why not
gets to
just
go back
send
to
him
where they
somewhere else?
died. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
This
It doesn't
You're
make sense.
Okay.
thinking way too hard about this movie.
Yeah.
what do you guys think about when they're sent back that they have a physical representation?
Love
Do
that.
you
Yeah, that's
do
fine.
you think it would have been better if they were like specters, that they were invisible to everybody instead
Well,
of
I
having
mean,
to do this whole thing
that
where
would
they have
make
this
more sense, but
where
I
they
mean,
look different?
then
There's
it
a-
wouldn't be goofy.
They're pretty light on explaining the whole Avatar thing, and then it's never quite clear if their car is real or like
Right?
because sometimes it can just like do I don't know what he's crashing into everything.
I was gonna
all
say,
the time.
can they kill people if he just crashes
Yeah, I
into
don't-
them?
The rules
What
are
about
pretty loose.
And what about when he is clearly using his left foot for the
We're not
Yes.
there yet, Ben.
Yeah.
Because his
Shut
right
up.
foot-
Eagle in the yeah.
All right,
Alright,
hold
I
on. I like how you're like, let's talk about the end. Like, what? We're not.
But I like the Avatar thing. But of
Yeah,
course,
that's
in
fine.
reality, they would come back as very nondescript people, right? Very forgettable people.
Well, right? They're very
Instead,
like,
they get like oddball. I don't understand how they get
Yeah.
assigned people.
right. You would be like the regular Joe. You would not
Yeah.
be like a very obvious, but
Anyway.
so he says, yeah, let's do this. She starts showing him around. First, they walk through a huge jail, which is where they keep the deados. That's what they call that.
Don't
Couldn't somebody have come up with something?
They're the deados, you guys.
only just a little bit better than
Nah.
Deado.
And all the time they're like deados, man.
Are the deados awaiting judgment? Because I feel
They are
like
people that tried to
they
slip
escaped.
out of judgment.
I understand.
Slip through the cracks.
But once R.I.P.D. has brought them in,
Yeah, then they're
I'm
waiting.
assuming in
Yeah.
is the
Then
off
they're
of
waiting.
Earth to
But
the
I
afterlife.
think we all know where they're going.
Do
if
they
did that.
really need a
waiting?
jail
Of
when
course
there
not.
is an eternal prison available? Just
Do they
It
really
also
need dead people to become R.I.P.D. officers? No,
Yeah.
of course not. You're thinking too hard.
it also doesn't make sense because half the time they're like, well, if shit goes wrong, just like erase them from the universe with bullets.
Right.
So I don't know why you wouldn't just be like boo 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 all
Who
over
knows
the
where
fucking
they
place.
go? Yeah.
why are the offices for new recruits on the other end of the jail from the offices of the
Ben.
officers?
What are you doing right now?
Yeah, stop it. You sound so dumb.
Okay, she explains your soul rots if you stay on Earth after you've died. And so everyone looks like a regular person, but when they actually reveal themselves, then you can see the monster in them. So that's when you see like the monster people, which
So
still doesn't quite make sense. But
Do the deados look like the people that they died as?
I don't know.
Because they didn't
Yes.
get assigned a new body, then why
No,
wouldn't
they
somebody
do.
recognize them?
I know.
I think that they
kind of comes
continue-
up with Kev Bacon because
Does
everyone's
it?
like, "Wow, you really survived that shooting or something."
He just kept living his life, normal life. I
kept
think these
doing
people
his thing.
come back and they're like, I survived.
Oh, okay.
Secretly,
Yeah.
I'm dead. But
Okay.
Ben, you
And I'm
can
gonna
show
do
picture
bad
number 2.
stuff.
is this some dude in the jail?
So this shows a guy in the jail. This shows how good they did. So someone photoshopped his eye
How
15
stupid
times.
that is.
This looks like Polar Express.
Not only that, though,
Did they
it's
put
like,
one of the eyes on his ear?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Every person is like, "Look, I'm a
Disap-
monster because I have 2 hands," and you're like, "That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
spook. That's not like."
I
Yeah.
hate the monster
So
design.
is it supposed to be
I
like
hate it.
you can see this eye is just photo
Why
like
did
it's
they-
cloned, clone, like it's. You
I
didn't even
hate-
try.
I hate the monsters in this.
Why did they
so
make them
much.
monsters? Why aren't they like...
Can't they just be like normal people or a cockroach hiding in a
Or
person's
make it
skin?
like
Yeah.
like an actual
scary.
creepy monster.
Yeah.
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 Where
Right,
you're
they're
like,
having
oh,
to-
shit,
right.
and
They're
it's-
demons disguised as people,
something.
and we hunt them down. It's like Hellboy or something. Like,
Yeah,
why do
do
we just
that.
go? Why? I don't know.
And
I just
also, like, is it
don't-
like this
so
guy
dumb.
saw something and didn't?
Yeah,
like,
he's a,
so
he's a
he has a
didn't
peeping
bunch of
tell.
Tom.
eyes.
He's a peeper.
Right.
That's what
mean,
This
he's a
guy's that.
creep.
Yeah, he's a peeping Tom.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Yes.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad.
You nailed it.
Okay.
I also
So in
did
the-
not see that scene, so thank you for grabbing a screenshot. I barely watched this movie. I did not like this.
Well, then you can listen in and you can
Yeah,
figure out what
yeah,
happens.
yeah.
In the main police room. So this is when some monster guy escapes. And Jeff Bridges comes in and shoots him like a marshal. Which by shoot him, I mean you
Eviscerate
they
him from
say
reality?
You like his soul is gone from everything.
Yeah.
Like he is done.
When you die, your soul can move on, but they
No,
have
they're like-
soul-destroying bullets that essentially delete you
Seems-
from the universe,
Why wouldn't you do bullets that like pops you into the jail?
or like a net bullet.
Something. Oh, okay. He does it like he's out of the fucking Wild West. And she's like, meet your new partner. This is Ray. So Ryan Reynolds goes to shake his hand, and last minute, it's not Ray, it's Roy. Sorry. Roy pulls away and he goes, you got to earn that. And that's when you're like, Roy's a fucking
Yeah,
jokester,
this guy.
man.
He's
What
not
a
a jokester.
goofball.
He's a dickhead the
He
entire
What a
is.
movie.
He's
goofball.
just a douche.
He's
is what he is.
extremely unlikable.
Yeah.
I don't like either character.
Oh, this you can
Anyway.
do number 3, Ben. Picture number 3.
Oh, okay.
I
Here
think
he
it's
is.
Roy.
You got a picture of him pulling
him
the handshake
pull-
back.
he goes,
Oop, gotcha.
Yeah, he walked off the set from Seventh Son for
Look at
sure.
this though. So he has a tie under
the shirt.
the shirt. It's not even in the collar. It is under everything. With
I
it
would
unbuttoned.
like-
High this entire film when he made it. Just put on the costume in any old which way.
They were like, looks good.
Love what you're doing with the costume design, Jeff. Mr. Bridges.
He
little
had to do
crazy.
it that way so that he could keep the tie as he switched costumes between Spook
Right.
and
Spook and
He
and
also
Spectre.
made The Giver in this same window of time,
Okay,
where
which is
he
also
has
just
the-
old
he has
man.
a beard with the
Yep.
same. So he probably did that first. They trimmed him up for, or Seventh Son, Giver, he got a trim, and then this he got another trim, and he was just on a lot for a year straight.
Spook and Spectre.
Yeah,
I agree with Joe
like
says.
make him look.
Why don't they look like Dale from Men in Black with his skin falling off his bones? And I agree. They don't make them scary. It's just like someone Photoshop cloned weird things.
They look bad.
like it's really
But
bad.
then they have powers, just
Yeah,
just
I don't get
whatever
that.
power you want.
You know,
And
whatever.
they have guns with the soul extinction bullets
I
in
don't
them.
know. It doesn't make
Like
sense.
that. I don't know if you caught that. They're firing the same thing at them. I don't know where
Yeah,
they got
Yeah,
so
it.
where
he
did
does
they get those
say-
bullets?
I don't know, but Roy does say like, "Hey, by the way, the bullets can hurt us, so watch out." And you're like, "Well, I feel like we should have I don't know, done something
Fix
with
that?
that. Yeah.
Somehow.
So it's not a boop, and it's like you're done.
Yeah, he says they don't hurt and then he said they got another they got deados, and then he had another nickname for living people, nons.
Nons. Are they called livos?
I
was gonna say it and you said it. Okay. So they go in like a fake bathroom and come out in like a pawn shop or some shit.
Yeah, they travel through toilets. Big crowd erupts in laughter.
Right, like, oh my God.
It's not funny. It's just
so they're back in Boston, and Nick goes to watch his funeral. Now this part, Jeff Bridges is behind him.
Jeff Bridges so hard through this whole
movie. He's behind him, and he's like Blues Brothering. Like he's got like weird sunglasses.
Too. He's sort of like looking up. And like
like the sunglasses like grandparents wear that like block out the side, like the whole deal. And he's just behind him all of a sudden, like you said, drunk. And he's like, "How you enjoying this funeral?" Like he's just creeping.
He's like trying to rush him through like the most emotional, traumatic concept this guy will ever cannot comprehend. And he's I don't know, let's just get in the car. He's doing Dale from Men in Black. Cockroach guy.
This is when you do find out that is true. You do find out
what is his problem?
That Roy's talks about his funeral multiple times, which his funeral was coyotes picking his bones apart and bringing his body into a cave. And he talks about that probably 4 or 5 times throughout this movie, where he's the coyotes. And you're like, dear
There
Lord,
is the most not funny joke made about that later in the movie that I just was like,
move on, please.
Yeah, I found it very off-putting.
And they like linger on it for
right? Like they
let the crowd laugh.
That's not
And it's
funny.
like, this is not a funny joke. I don't know who wrote this. You have to fix it.
Good.
Was there like a writer's strike in 2013?
I bet there was.
There probably was,
wouldn't be surprised if there was. Let's look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, look that up. So Nick tries to run down to his wife. His wife doesn't recognize him. First of all, they don't tell him like, "Hey, you're gonna look like someone else," which I feel like that'd be a
why let him
up.
find out like this?
Heads up.
Yeah.
So you don't look like yourself. You don't sound like yourself. And if you try to reveal yourself, like your words to other people get all jumbled up. So no one can understand you.
Sure.
You can't actually say, "Hey, I'm dead," all that crap. So this is when we find out Nick looks like some old Chinese guy and Roy looks like some hot woman when they're on Earth.
Like way over the top.
But it's so it's like Victoria's Secret model, tiny old Asian man, which that would be more distracting than just two regular like boring looking people.
Like
it's not regular, just you just need a boring person. So no one even notices you.
The premise of it, like occasionally it's kind of funny.
Sometimes it works. Most of the time it does not.
Most of the time it doesn't, but occasionally it's like when they switch and it's their vessels,
when it's like the model post and then it goes to Jeff Bridges and he's got his hip out and it's the same way and you're
I
like,
gotta
okay,
laugh. Or
that's kind of funny.
Switch to Ryan Reynolds with with gun drawn. It's very serious, and it goes to his switcheroo, and it's just this guy holding a banana. Like a small Asian man holding a banana. That's very good.
That's pretty good, right? And he's like, "Get out of my way," and that But for
Jeff
the most
Bridges
part,
being sexy in the hallway was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Okay, so this is when Roy is driving. His left foot is on the gas. His right foot's up on the seat. If you were like,
I think it's behind the passenger seat.
It's so insane. So he's looking at the passenger seat. Why do you not have pants up?
Hold on.
Ben literally is just in underwear at this point. Look at.
See, at least I've got an extra. No, he had no shorts on.
Let me see.
No, I have the same.
You're right. Ben's are shorter. Well, I don't know. I think they're about the same.
You can see more under you. That's for sure.
More under. Stop.
Here, hold on. Wait.
Ben's just flashing at this point for anyone who can't
I wore
see.
the wrong shorts for this. So he's left foot on the gas.
Left foot on the gas, right foot on.
Right,
and he's driving like this.
But he's like only looking at Ryan Reynolds.
Like that is insane.
And he's driving.
I enjoyed that part.
But that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And
but I enjoy.
Nobody says anything about it. He is
enjoyed that part.
He is using left foot on the gas pedal. Right foot is up on the bench seat.
And the whole
Jeff
time
being
he's
insane.
staring. He's just staring at Ryan Reynolds.
He never
while
looks at the
he's
road.
driving.
Well, this is why I don't understand if the car is real or if what they do in the car has an effect in reality.
I don't know.
But a lot of times Nick is like, "Do you mind watching the road during that?" Like, which I did enjoy that part though. But
what's going to happen? Do they die? Do they?
Like, that's if you hit a person when you're in, like, do you kill them?
Right. What if your
car?
car hits a livo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A non.
This is when we find out.
If you run over a non, what happens?
This is when we find out Roy is from the 1800s. He was a marshal, and so that's why he's the way he is. No, it's like, dude, you've been, which means he's been like dead for a long time, though. Yeah.
So.
Okay, so they have a tip on a deado in a building. So deados have bad mojo, so you got to follow like broken shit, and you can find them. So this like broken elevator and all that crap. This is when he talks about special bullets. You can delete people from the universe, get them out of here.
Yeah, more power than God.
Yeah.
Even though we're somewhere between heaven and hell.
It seems like.
Got the God
and also,
bullet.
like, if you accidentally shoot your partner, done.
Right.
Like,
right.
Done.
What happens to you? Do
Okay,
you go
so
to
this
just
part
jail?
Was so fucking gross. So
Livo
they find
jail?
the deado's apartment building.
The deado.
And Roy, I was going to say Jeff, Roy brings Indian food. And Ryan Reynolds is
what
like,
the fuck was
yeah,
this?
he's like, why are we doing this? And he's like, just go along with it. Let's do this. They get in there and they're questioning the deado guy. And he's eating Indian food in the grossest. I'm not even someone who like, I don't mind like food.
It was like gore.
It was horrible. It's like up close on his mouth with like food coming out. And he's like,
it cuts to the plate,
and, like,
the container. And it's like, I know that's what food looks like in real life, but they did
so
something
gross.
it looks so gross.
Like if you left out in the sun for 8 days, it was something was so gross.
I didn't understand why later, based on what happens later, I didn't understand
you figure
why
it out, but
this scene had to be so gross because what you find
so
out is that
gross.
it's the cumin that it
Like,
sort of like
cumin. I thought it was just like spice. I thought it was
Well,
just
I think it's
it could be just
yeah.
spice. But if it is spices, regardless of what it is somehow related to either a spice or spices. Why was he eating it like that? What does that have to do with anything? And how are the
it's like
questions
in his beard
involved?
and like hanging out of his mouth while he like talks about.
Why was every question also about like tikka masala and like?
I don't know. I didn't understand the question thing. Maybe that's a
weird.
comic book
gross.
thing.
Thank you for making me remember it because
No,
I
this
definitely
scene,
had removed it from my mind.
Straight up was like, I don't think I've ever been so grossed out.
I would walk out
okay.
of this movie if I
Joe
went to the movie
says-
theater in the scene.
Like the guy in Lord of the Rings
Oh
eating
yeah,
tomatoes.
but like
But
way
that
worse.
is
Way
I feel
worse.
like that's horror, and
Yes.
this was like gore.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like if someone's like, watch me eat these bugs. Like, it was that gross where you're like, oh, sick. Like,
Just
it was.
everything about it is
Watch
So
me
gross.
eat this like it's
Denethor
like I saw a
eating
thing the other
tomatoes
day.
is
so
like-
gross.
It's supposed to make you mad, right? It's supposed
Right.
to be disgusting.
I mean,
This
I guess
was
this
just
worked.
like,
It made me sick.
Gross. It reminds me of this thing I saw the other day of like how to make D&D characters that your players hate, and somebody was like, I like to have this bog hag who's like obsessed with hair, and she like paralyzes
No.
people and shaves their head and then eats their hair in front of them.
No, I hate hair. No, I hate it. Hair, like, oh God, I hate that so much.
Some sort of like hair witch.
Yuck, I hate that. I would hate that. I would walk out your game. I would go, we're done.
That dirty
We're
medieval
done
hair.
right now.
Yeah. The greasy stuff.
Oh, God. So
Seasoned.
the guy turns into a monster because he can't stand his goddamn eating skills. He goes crazy for a while. He goes to jump out the window, but he like drinks a thing of milk first. jumps out the window. He goes down like 200 levels.
But it shows that it's heavy. It's not.
Yeah.
He does drop it.
When
And
he dumps it, it shows what's
like
in there.
shit is in there.
when he drops the milk carton, it does the ring in Lord of the Rings where it does the like
boom,
and it doesn't bounce at all.
But so Nick is like looking at him out the window because he doesn't know like, hey, we can get hurt and we won't die kind of shit. Jeff Bridges jumps out after he like pushes him out the window and rides him down like a horse.
Yeah,
like he's like,
I think he says giddy up
of
too.
course,
It's
yeah.
so goddamn dumb.
Which is dumb. They eventually get the guy and all this shit. The guy throws up the gold pieces, the same gold pieces that Nick had buried in his yard. So Nick is like, what the fuck is going on? Jeff Bridges is like, whatever, not a big deal. Oh, you know what? They don't just get the guy. Sorry, Jeff shoots the guy. So he said,
blows
we're
him
done.
up.
So
What about this though? What about this scene when
God, what are we doing?
when like the
Well,
bus
that's
like
later.
hits him?
That actually
I don't
happens right
remember
after
this
this.
either.
So they get in a fight right after. I didn't even write this down. They get in a fight, and Ryan Reynolds just throws him into a bus because he's like pissed.
Pretty good.
So
Pretty good.
Look at there's like I went the wrong way.
you're
Here
just
they
going
are.
to her. Yeah, there they are. There's the happy couple.
Like
right
that's
there.
a funny. You know what? I think maybe why this didn't work. You didn't get enough of these two actually
Yeah, it should have
like
been more of
being
them.
in the movie.
Well, and this
Right?
is way funnier when she is like appropriately like dressed.
Yeah,
Most of the time, like it's like incredibly
it's always
low
just
cut.
boobs and
Yeah.
butts, right?
Yeah, and it's like you're ruining the joke,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like
Well,
She has
even,
a couple. She barely speaks a couple lines, but when she does it, she does her best to do like a southern drawl and stuff, and like
Yeah.
she talks like Jeff Bridges. I'm like, let them do that. Let them.
that would be funny if it was like their side of things,
yeah,
like what it
just
looks
show
like to
them
everyone
walking
else.
down the street bickering. You know,
Even for just like one like
Yeah.
good scene.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because they do a thing way later. Some guy is like, hey, honey, like, you should model for me. And Jeff Bridges is like, I'm not. He says something. He takes his
I'm not a
business
piece
card.
of meat for you to.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But he says something which it would be funny, but they never actually show her and him. So it just looks like it's him. So I don't know. Like, you need to
Yeah.
go back and forth.
Yeah.
So it actually
Yes.
is funny.
But you need to show what the person thinks they
like
see,
what they see.
right? Yeah,
Where
Yeah.
I don't know. So it kind of didn't work. But okay, so yeah, they get in a fight. Okay, so when he throws him in the bus, Roy loses his hat and then he's pissed off because he's a
Oh, is
marshal.
that
He
why-
needs
I
his
think
cowboy
I must
hat.
have walked away during this whole thing.
He was so mad about losing his hat,
I thought there was gonna be more to that, and it was really just he liked
Just the hat.
like why did he like that hat so much? Did he like when he died and he came back, he specifically went
it was his
to
hat,
the
like-
coyotes
Right,
and got
got
his
the
hat
hat.
back?
That'd
No,
be
it was
cool.
kind of he just wanted a hat. And yeah, so it's like
Lame.
Got to watch R.I.P.D. too to see him go get
Oh.
the hat.
we
Yeah.
gotta see the original. So they go back to the office, and the police are freaking out. They're like, "There's a surge of deados." I can't say deados with.
I hate it. Can we come? I'm sure we can come up with something better.
Was the
right
surge?
now.
So
Like,
Was the surge
for-
because of the talisman?
it's foreshadowing because it's all the deados coming together to try to do the
yeah,
talisman thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen the movie and I don't know the answer to this question. Was the talisman's magical powers causing more people to
it's a good
No, I
question.
think they were
behind.
just chit chatting. I don't know.
Or there's
Maybe
just
not.
that many of them around?
I
Because
don't
there's
know.
like
There are a
100.
lot. There's like a shit ton.
Yeah.
The thing is, I have a question. I'll wait till we get there, but I have a question.
You want to wait though?
I'll
Okay.
wait.
Okay, so
Alert
they
the
bring
media.
the
Okay.
gold to the evidence. Nick is like, we should figure this out.
They
Roy's
treat
like,
this
shut the fuck up.
Evidence like, what? You know, what's in the box today? Like,
It's-
they're literally mixing it together. It's not, anyway.
It's kooky
Oh, that's
crazy.
later. Never mind.
No, but it is kooky crazy, and it's like an amusement park. There are chains the size of your head, just boop, 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 boop,
They're
like
in
things are popping
a Willy
down.
Wonka
And
factory.
exactly.
I hate it.
Thank you.
The afterlife is a Willy
Yeah.
Wonka factory.
Well, when they go to the scene
Yeah.
where she has the bucket that comes down the tube,
the gold bucket.
it's
Once
just
again.
out of Willy Wonka. That's like reused effects from Willy Wonka.
They probably were
Johnny
like, "Do you
Depp
guys
one.
have that tube?" Like,
Yeah.
So Nick finally convinces Roy to be like, let's go talk to your informant. He's some Red Sox guy. He lets him stay there to get some info. They talk to him. He doesn't help. But then they leave the guy and follow him. And he takes the gold. And who does he hand it to? Kevin Bacon.
That
Kevin
fucker.
Bacon.
So that's when they're like,
Damn it.
That's your old partner, blah, blah, blah. They follow him. Where's he
that
go?
guy's
With a
Shitty.
deado.
He goes back to Nick's house, baby. So this is where Roy's like, he's sleeping with your wife, which is like, that's,
shut
once
up,
again,
Roy.
Just shut up for 10
at
seconds.
this
You're the
point, Roy
worst.
has been nothing but like gratingly annoying and just a dick.
And it's becoming more and more obvious he's also really a really bad R.I.P.D. officer.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, because he doesn't get any of this.
he first of all sucks at his job and is also an asshole.
So essentially, Kev goes to talk to his wife to be like, was Nick like hiding anything? And
I don't
she's
know.
like,
Did he
well,
like bury anything under like an
he
orange tree or
had,
something
like,
like that?
yeah,
Hell
exactly.
Like,
This is when he pulls out the orange tree, like if someone set a towel down.
Yeah.
Like it's very like, boop. He finds it. So his wife thinks he's a liar, which also I don't know. They act like all of a sudden she found a body in the backyard. It's like it's
if
not
you
a big
died
deal.
and I found out that you robbed a bank, I would be totally fine with that. Like, I'm not going to be like pissed that you like
I don't know.
took some gold. Be like, fine, that's cool. Wish you would have told me, but maybe you were
Chick
gonna.
that
I don't know.
But
Kevin
it's not
Bacon
like you
hasn't
go
been
in the
out.
backyard and you're like, there's 5 bodies back here. Like it was
Sure,
nothing
sure.
crazy.
I mean, she didn't think like he planted that literally that day was killed, and she's like, maybe he was about to tell me. Like, I don't know. I only talked to him the one time between when he buried it
And
when he
died.
died.
Yeah.
But no, he's been hiding this from me.
Oh my God.
For who knows how long.
Ever since
you
he
do
was
know
dead,
how long,
he's never said a word to me.
Yeah.
right?
So
How could he?
wherever they are, I don't remember. A dog barks, and right away Roy's like, "Deado," which I'm like, I think a dog can bark, but okay, whatever. And then it's obvious because I'm saying this because the movie says it. The guy's fat, and so they make it say he must be a deado because he's a fat guy in a suit. And right
A
away
lot of
you
the
go,
deados are fat guys in suits.
well,
for some
that's,
reason.
yeah, exactly.
don't
That's
quite
what I'm
A
saying.
dead giveaway.
I don't get it, but right away they're like deado alert, and it's like because he's
It
what?
becomes a
I
thing
don't-
where if you see a fat person,
Done.
deado. Yeah, like shoot them, blow their head off.
What?
That's what it's like. So
I don't
when you see-
understand why they chose to go that direction.
I don't
Why
know.
bother with
It's
all
weird.
with the Indian food test?
Why not just
Because
shoot
you've
'em
got
if you're gonna
bullets
shoot
that
'em?
don't hurt alive people and hurt dead people.
Yeah, blast that guy.
Oops, went right
Well,
through his head.
I
I
mean,
guess you're alive.
I
Sorry to
understand
bother
if
you. We'll
it's
see you later.
Unethical, but they seem to
I'm just
always be
waving
like,
this banana
whatever.
around like a goofball. I'm crazy. I'll see you later.
It's I don't know. So you find out that Kevin Bacon hands a briefcase to the fat deado. So that's when they're like, "Look, it's
Is
definitely
this
a
the
deado."
same fat deado from earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, wait,
We've caught back up. It's like
No, wait.
Tenet.
we haven't. No, he's not from earlier.
He's from
not-
the very beginning, the very
He's from
first
the
scene.
very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same dude.
What? Wait, what scene?
And so this is now the second time
Wait,
they've
which
seen a
scene?
fat person.
With
and
the
immediately
record
said,
scratch,
"Deado."
Ryan Reynolds being like,
Oh,
"You think
yes.
I'm having a bad
Yes,
day?"
yes.
This
Sorry.
is
Yeah.
us. We are now caught up to.
I thought you meant earlier in the story, and I was like, no,
No.
like the flashback. Yeah.
We're now
You're
caught
right.
up to the record scratch.
So they go to interrogate him and all this crap.
And they didn't even have the decency to do a slight freeze frame where it freeze framed earlier.
When he's
to
like,
be
"Here I
like,
am."
"Here,
Right.
we're picking
Yeah.
up where we were." I wish
No.
nope. It
I
just
honestly didn't catch that at all. I did not realize this was the same scene.
It is.
As the first scene.
I forgot it was even, yeah. They interrogate him. He turns into a monster, which is like a giant fat baby.
It's just a
Elvis
fatter version
in-
of him.
don't worry. I got you.
Yes. Picture number 4.
And
I got you, fam.
This is when this
It
this
looks
gets
like if you said
worst
there's a
CGI
boss-
you've ever seen.
If you
in
had a
movie.
boss in a video game
Yeah.
who's fat, it's this guy.
It
I
would
don't
look.
understand what.
This looks worse than a video game.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So this guy right away runs away with the briefcase of gold. For some reason, he can walk up buildings. I don't. No one else has been able to do this, so I don't know what's going on.
It's because he was a fat nerd who loved Spider-Man in life.
Is that what it was? I don't like.
He's the comic book guy from Simpsons.
Right away, though.
No,
he's out
doesn't
and about.
make any sense.
And this is when I was like, well, can everyone else see him?
Yeah, I don't.
He's running around on buildings. So Jeff Bridges,
Cars were just driving by, like nobody was stopping in the street.
Really.
But like, look at these people that back here. They look scared. These people look. But look at these two people. Oh yeah, there. That's these two people don't see him.
Like they look scared. So Jeff Bridges like tethers him. He like shoots him in the butt and like is tethered. And of course that's supposed to be funny. And then he's being flung around the streets and he's like, giddy up and all that shit.
I hate this scene. Hate this scene.
So, what movie is like that where somebody's like hanging from a rope and they're like going through like chickens
Spider-Man?
and stuff?
I don't know. Oh my God.
What am
like
I thinking
a gazillion movies?
Yeah, every movie with a zip line. You're correct.
Ken
I
is here
clearly,
like a kid doing a book.
I was very busy that day. I turned it. I technically watched it. It was on my laptop over here. I glanced at it every once in a while. Every time I looked or listened, I was disappointed.
That's so true. Good job. Oh my gosh. So, but he's like being zoomed around the city. The guy bursts into an office. He's like smushing people. Ryan Reynolds. He shoots the elevator. So it's broken and he starts going up. The guy gets in the elevator. And then like at one point they're all in the elevator. I don't know. It's shooting up. But when they shoot out of the building, like 100 feet in the air. Like,
why can the elevator go that fast?
It's
the Wonka-vator?
It Wonka's out.
But
wait, I just have one sentence. The Deado gets away with the gold, and they get in trouble for chasing him around the city. This is when you find out, apparently everyone could see it.
Nobody was acting like they could see it.
Well, the people in the office they were like, I can't believe you let everyone see a Deado.
Okay, a giant monster runs through the.
I don't know.
A giant
Did they see a monster or a guy
bursts through your conference room, pulled on a cable behind him. A tether is a super hot supermodel.
Yeah,
that's true.
Then they do the whole scene where the guys are like, oh hey,
yeah, which also doesn't make sense. That's so true.
So
yeah,
see, this is why I did not watch this movie. Every time I looked at it, it was some dumb joke.
You're so true.
Joke, right? It's just constant garbage.
Like she, aka Jeff Bridges, gets thrown up there. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Whoa, hello there, miss."
Some guy does like a time to have sex.
And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like a monster just went through.
It's like somebody,
but a supermodel.
There was somebody who like had good idea. Like there's like them
I don't
being
know if
them
anybody
was
had good ideas here.
No, what I mean is the supermodel old Asian man with the banana is funny.
Yeah.
Like that, there's so much potential there for fun, but
there could be
the execution of everything.
Garbage.
Disastrous.
Yeah.
So bad.
It would be more funny if they're surprised that some woman in high heels like flips up in the that would be way more funny.
Yeah, like have Jeff Bridges do like a shootout scene, right?
Yeah.
And then you cut to her,
like with
and
the
she's
guns
like whipping out like lipstick and like her cell phone.
Right, I don't
Wouldn't
know what
that be funnier? Lipstick, cell phone, and like hairbrush,
absolute
hairspray,
right? And she's
going crazy. Really, she's like fighting off
rolling
guys, but
over
they're just
tables
watching.
and stuff.
Yeah, like
okay, we just
wrote a way
it.
better scene than this entire like 15
right. Then
minute chase.
the CGI, like the most disgusting CGI scene you've ever seen of just like the stupidest, just like what a waste of time when you could have had. Yeah, you would have required. It would have been so much better to do that scene of like.
Right, that would actually be funny.
Right,
yeah. Where is
and it's like him struggling with the guns, but what people see is like stupid shit.
Where's the third act scene of them like being surrounded by deados, and they start shooting, and then it cuts to the supermodel and the
Yes.
Chinese
and it's like
guy
bananas
just like
and shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
Right,
just
they've-
sort of like doing finger guns. Like
Yeah,
where's
they've got like a
that?
churro, you know, and
Yes.
and
it's them pulling out goofy shit, but everyone else is like, what are you doing? But really they're like saving everyone's life for
Where- But
well.
are the dead? Can they see the deados?
I don't know.
It'd be funnier if they
And-
couldn't, right? So that
Well,
they're like doing this
right.
kind of weird stuff. And yeah, the fat guy farting is so dumb. Like, yeah, it is.
And
Also the
hold
whole
on.
time. No.
So hold on, I just cracked it wide open.
Okay.
So if they can see the
Figure it out.
deados when they're in monster form, obviously the game's up, right? Like people know
I
something's
mean, I
weird.
guess.
Right.
If they can't see the deados in their monster form and it's just a normal person, when Jeff Bridges executes a man in the street, what happens? Because as a deado, he turns to smoke, but he's got like a real
I don't
person
know.
body
It's a person though, right?
who
I don't know. This is
This
why they
it doesn't
need
make sense.
you. The only way to fill these holes is with the memory
a
eraser.
sequel.
with the
Yeah,
with the
You,
men
this
in
is
that
the
black.
might
only
be-
way around it. Like,
Yeah,
how
that's
wouldn't
true.
everyone know?
Yeah,
Well, that's why it makes
Unless
sense.
you can just like, okay, everybody look at the red light.
yeah.
That's
That's the
true.
only way out of that situation.
Man, that movie was 16 years earlier. Men in Black is like a masterpiece compared to this. Like
It is, though.
cinematic
It
genius.
is.
It's funnier, the action's better, everything looks better. Michael
And the
Jackson
thing is-
has that weird cameo where they say Michael Jackson's an
Doesn't he?
alien.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
But the thing is exactly. There's just this movie's so bad, but I loved some part. I love like some very tiny little
You
small
just
I like
scene.
the
enjoyed him
concept.
driving with
Right.
his
I
left.
like the
yeah,
concept.
it could be good.
Right, the Jeff Bridges driving with the left foot, right leg up on the like
That's
that's
straight
funny.
out of Men in Black. That is
Yeah.
straight out of Men in Black, right? So
Mm-hmm.
on some degrees,
He tried.
they
but-
nailed it. In a lot of ways, boy, they misfired. Like,
It's a
big
cool,
time.
like a cool concept if you were going to make a Men in Black style movie. There are aliens or demons or deads or whatever hiding
your
amongst us, and
Yeah.
there is a special forces group that takes them out. And I like
fun.
this in that the police are almost indestructible, so that they can do crazy
Yeah.
things.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
I just wish those crazy things weren't. I'm gonna hang from a
Fat guy's butt.
thing. I don't know. Just that whole scene sucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they in trouble for that. So now the captain, I don't know, says you have to deal with eternal affairs. And during that, when they Willy Wonka down the note and all that shit, they find out the gold is part of the Staff of Jericho, which is the tunnel where you go up to the afterlife. Instead, it would flip it around so all the deads could come down.
Okay.
And I guess that's bad. So, which I'm like, I don't know. There's like deads all over the goddamn city, but okay.
Yeah, it seems like you have a very massive deado problem.
Right. Their system was never built for 150,000 people dying a day. Well, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah,
Like,
it doesn't
maybe
Just
upgrade
make
your
the pipes
infrastructure.
bigger. Yeah.
great. But they're gonna have like a hearing, and she's like, most likely you'll be erased. Which I'm like, that seems harsh.
Erased.
Seems
A
extreme.
little harsh. Like we
Yeah.
can't even just go to like the jail with the deados. We have to
Yeah.
be like immediately
And
done.
I'd like to think that being erased is different from getting a spirit bullet to the head.
don't
It
think it
is you
is.
walk into a room and there's a giant eraser.
Whoa.
you
that's
literally
going to
get erased.
You
I'm on
get
board with that.
erased.
Yeah.
Or like they have your
Where
they
it
have
like,
like some,
but it like mushes you into the ground.
Oh no!
or
But you just go away. You
You're
don't like.
those little shavings.
Yeah.
Or there's that. Remember that infinitely tall room of file cabinets of everybody's
Yeah,
a file on
when you
everybody.
first got
They
there.
take your file out and they erase your name,
Oh,
and then you sort of
man,
like
you're
disappear.
done.
Yeah. Whatever. Do something creative. Not. Ugh.
No.
We're gonna take you
It's
out back
not-
and shoot you.
I know. I feel like we're the vault
Take
where they
you
keep
out
the
back.
evidence with the big chain things. Like
Like-
I feel like that's something Calvin would like draw and be like, "Isn't this cool?"
I made a big vault.
Yeah.
You know.
Right,
Like-
that's what it is. It's a bunch of boxes that go into like little safes, and you're like, yeah, no shit.
Okay.
Like
What?
Yeah.
can't we come up with some that
This was 2013.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
What Marvel
It's
movies came out in 2013?
all of them?
That was pretty early on. That would have been like Captain America 1, Thor 1. Still way better than this.
Better than
Way
this.
better than
Iron Man 3,
holy
Oh.
shit.
Thor 2. Is this
Okay.
correct?
I
Yeah.
doubt it's not
2013?
your
Man of Steel came out in 2013.
holy
Whoa.
crap. Okay.
The Wolverine.
I think we know why we didn't
one
hear
was
about
that?
this then.
Yeah, this was like somebody,
This
like
was
you
like-
said, some exec saw this and was like, "Nope, cut it.
Yeah.
Like, finish
We're
it
done.
with the $50,000 you have left and release this to
Right.
as few
Yeah.
theaters as possible."
Be done and see
I
what
mean,
we can
okay,
make.
Yeah.
the next year, not 2013, but the next year, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Like-
It was done
Come
at
on.
that time.
That's the kind of stuff that was coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
This is
Holy
so
This is
bad.
like looks like 90s garbage,
It does.
and it's
Yeah.
worse than the movies that were coming out then.
Yep.
So Nick and Roy are sad they're gonna essentially be killed. I don't know, erased,
Erased. Yeah.
whatever. Some shit happens. Nick tries to see his wife, all this crap. Essentially they go, hey, we should try and stop things before we get erased. And that's when they're like, maybe Hayes, aka Kevin Bacon, is a deado. And they're like, but how is he hiding it? And this is when Roy is like, well, sometimes they can like wear things that can hide them being a deado. And that's when Nick is like, the charm. So that's the
Where
foreshadowing.
did they get those? Where did those come from?
I don't know. How are you a deado and you're like, anybody got any charms?
Yeah, I'll go
like,
on
I
to
don't.
the Deado market and
And this is where the wrap up begins.
And
This
it's
is where somebody
bad.
said,
Forever.
wrap this up. But
It makes no
it takes
sense.
forever because there's no payoff.
Yeah.
It's still a
Yeah.
short movie. They're just like, we're
absolutely
gonna
right.
just end
Done?
it. Because here's the thing. There are two scenes that are very close to one another that are they don't fit together. The one is with Kevin Bacon in the coffee shop with the other deado, and they're talking about the staff of Jericho.
It's about to happen.
That's about to happen.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Can I talk about that? He's
yeah.
he's like
Trying to
there.
remember.
He's like, oh man, I've been waiting for this for a long time, or something like that. And Kevin Bacon says, yeah, kind of like 3,000 years. And
Yeah.
it makes you think like, whoa, he's not a deado. He's like the
Some
guy who
other-
Deado.
he's like the guy who
Okay.
made the staff of Jericho. He's some sort of like superior
sure, the big bad
being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like not much longer after that,
You
find
find
out
out,
he's
no.
a regular dead guy who
He
is
gets bigger and dumber.
Well,
yeah, but they talk
was-
about how he was alive not that long
he
ago
was
and got
killed
shot
like
and
2
killed.
months ago or
Oh,
something.
that's
You know,
right,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Remember when
Yeah.
I got shot on that thing and everybody was surprised I lived? I didn't. Well, then what are you talking about? You've been waiting for this for 3,000 years.
Yeah.
You were alive like 5 minutes ago. So here's my theory. Here's my theory. Kevin Bacon was some sort of supervillain lich guy, and there was
Sure.
going to be this whole thing with like this was his plan.
That
He
would've been
built
so
this.
much better.
He was trying to bring it back together. He's trying to build an army of the dead, and that's why he wants to like reunite the staff of Jericho to get like these people back
Makes
down. We're
sense.
going to take over the world. This is ours, and we don't have to go to judgment and go to hell. And this was always his plan.
Yep.
But somebody said this movie sucks, and I want you to end it. Shoot a
Right.
couple of scenes, wrap it up, a
Yeah,
little bit of
we're gonna
CGI,
wrap it
we're
up.
done. And they had to throw all that away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
'cause
just
it
get
didn't make
nothing.
sense. Because
I
it would be way
believe
more
you.
cool if you were like, no, I've been trying to do this for like thousands of
No.
years.
I'm
And
not
it
going to
makes
Instead,
say.
it's
way
like-
more
it's-
sense. Like,
It's been 2 months, bud. Like,
well,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
he died
I
2
wasn't
months
saying-
ago. Sorry, go ahead. Ben.
I wasn't saying no to you. I was saying no to the comment from Joe in the chat. I am not commenting on that.
We're not gonna-
That
I'm
was a
gonna
bad
post
that
it.
joke.
That joke.
Don't
is
put
so
that up
dumb.
there. No, sorry. Ken, continue from where you were.
You're
Roy,
absolutely
this is Roy
right,
crying over
because,
this, by the way.
You know, the whole 3,000 years setup makes way more sense with the fact that they're like trying to find
Yeah.
a gold artifact and all this sort of shit. Whereas, okay, you died 2
yeah.
months ago, and it only took you 2 months to find out about whatever the staff of
Like,
Jericho is.
collect it.
You found all the pieces. You got all these other deados to help
Yeah.
you, And you guys are ready to execute the plan in 2 months?
You have fully armed them
years.
with spirit bullet miniguns. Where did you even acquire that technology?
Pulling that shit out of.
Yeah,
he has
it doesn't
a
make
mini
any
gun
sense.
Now,
at one point.
That is believable if he is some sort of powerful mastermind who has been.
He just had the time, right? They do
Right.
little burgles. You take the guns. You take the
I've had 3,000 years to put this plan together, and it's finally coming to fruition.
Perfect.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
You're right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Not
so we
what
see
we
them
got.
meet in a restaurant. Hayes, Kevin Bacon gets the last pieces of shit. He talks about the 3,000 years, all that crap. So Nick and Roy are like, I bet he's a deado. So they go to his house. They essentially catch him, take off his charm. The house instantly turns to like rotten ash and broken. Yeah.
Oh my God. I
So
thought
they take it
like
off.
had some, I don't know,
Yeah.
deado
Deado magic.
artifact that he just like, hey, check this out. And it cracked his house in half. And I was like, that's it? That's all you got?
Well, and that's the thing is like he takes the charm off and immediately his house is like
Sure. I
everything's
like that
done.
too.
Yeah.
Because he's the 3,000-year-old lich. His dead power is powerful. But this is when that all begins to unravel and starts to get thrown away.
Yeah, it also doesn't make sense, like you said, Ben, like, or whoever, like, where do you find that charm?
Because
like you died and you're like, anybody got a charm?
He's had 3,000 years to put that charm together. The thing is like because the recent deados, when they're by like a vacuum and it breaks or a light is flashing a little bit, but when he pulls off his charm that's hiding his deadness, the house is like. But guess what? Is he a special guy? No, he's just some dude who died.
No.
Then what's going on?
It doesn't make sense.
Obviously, and the short run time, the weird discrepancies in the story, like somebody knew. The fact that we never heard about this, some executive was like, "This sucks. Stop
Finish it and
working
be done.
on it."
Yeah,
And they were probably right. I mean, to be honest,
they
I
probably
don't
save money in the end.
even. Yeah, your ending is better, but it costs $100 million.
Right, we're not going to do that.
Right, so
They're not.
Do you have any idea how much time it's going to take to actually clean up that city tether smashing windows scene?
yeah,
No.
do
So
it all
they-
CGI.
They take him to the police station, like the afterlife police station, and that's when he seems totally fine with it. So that's when you know something's up. So there's a bunch of deados. This is picture number 5, Ben.
Right,
A
he's
bunch
like-
of deados look like they're gonna work together. And so when they take shit from him and they're like, put it in evidence, is what you're saying, Ken. They like essentially there's a basket.
All
and they're
evidence
like,
just gets like
throw it in the
yeeted into a
basket.
laundry bin.
First of all, let's look at this animation right here. This is
I
great.
hate this shit.
This looks so good.
Also, this is just a copy of the Joker from The Dark Knight, where he gets arrested on purpose,
But look at
done
how bad
in the
this,
most
like
Incredibly
horrible
poorly.
graphic is.
That guy in the back is holding a shotgun action 6-round revolver.
Yeah, what is going on?
He has
there?
to pump to cock a revolver.
Yeah, what?
Like what?
Which I think is a super soaker concept or a nerf concept.
But obviously, this is like
just
barely-
shit glued
It
together.
doesn't make sense.
you know the movie memorabilia. Nobody's looking for this gun. This got thrown away.
I want it. I want it.
So when they
Could
throw
probably
the
get it for
evidence
cheap.
together, of
What
course,
if I
it
started
like
an R.I.P.D. prop collection?
R.I.P.D.
Just
props. That's probably a
Posters
thing.
back here and stuff.
When they put the evidence together, like shit clicks together because of course it's like puzzle pieces and shit.
Oh, this also looks. You mentioned. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Guardians
go.
of the Galaxy. The device they put in the evidence bin is
Right?
the model from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's the
1.
same thing. Once
It's
again,
the
they're probably
same
like, we
sphere
got
that
this.
twists. Like they bought it off of Marvel. They're like, yeah, we need it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to use that. So it freezes the entire room, but deados can move. When I don't.
Like
Okay.
what? You know,
But
he
how-
says something so stupid.
But
He's like,
also,
you
it
know
doesn't
what's
make
cool about
sense.
being dead? We can't hear certain frequencies. And then
But
the
isn't
bomb goes
everyone
off.
dead who's a police? They're all dead.
They're all dead.
So why
And
would
Why
they
there's
not?
certain frequencies though?
Is
Like
it
that
the
never came up
frequency that
before.
But because
that
they're
what
part of the
controls
police
time?
department, they can't hear. That doesn't make sense. just because you work for the police and you have a different, you're the same dead. You're both dead. You're dead.
This movie might
You're all
be
deados. It's deados
my
all the way.
least
The
favorite.
bullets
The
work
whole
on
thing
everybody.
is deados.
Yeah.
The bullets. Why?
I don't know.
Deados all the way
The
down.
way the bullets work imply
Yeah,
that
it doesn't make
deados
sense.
and PD
Same thing.
same dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
time
bad
bomb.
deados, they end up taking the gold evidence and they escape.
Can we rush through this?
Yeah,
this
we're
ending
almost done,
This
don't worry.
ending is rushed through. That's for
and
sure.
that's
Yeah,
the
it
thing,
is
right?
actually.
We have now completely passed by any hope that there
Yeah.
was ever going to be a movie, and now we're trying
Now
to get
we're
it
just
wrapped
wrapping
up.
up.
They're trying to get it wrapped up. Everybody just wants to be done. There's nothing of value.
This is when shit gets crazy, though. So, okay, the deados puzzle piece. They go on top of a building. Now, the gold Jericho shit, it's like a 10 by 10. Like, it's big.
It's very big.
And they're puzzle piecing it together like they knew how it goes. I feel like I would be like,
impressive.
next piece. Like,
Yeah.
it's a big circle and all this shit.
It's a circle with a spire. It's a lot of gold.
It would be a
Right.
lot of puzzle pieces. I'm going to say
I'll
that
be
right
extremely heavy also.
Yeah.
now. There are deados everywhere. It is fucking wild going on.
Yeah.
So they have the like Jericho thing. They also have just, I don't know, like a tornado going on or something.
Yeah,
Like there's something just sucking shit up, right?
Oh,
Or
those
like,
are that's the reverse Jericho tubes, is what those are.
are
right?
there multiple?
So they're charging up.
I know
Well,
there's
remember when he
one.
dies? It's a whole bunch of tubes
Is it
dumping into a toilet bowl, and then it goes up into
Okay.
one
Right.
thing into
I just
processing.
there was
Also,
a bunch
who is
getting
like,
sucked up, so I was like, I'm not.
This is
quite
how
sure.
it works.
Yeah.
So at one point though, there's a bunch of deados shooting at them. The one guy's gun jams. It looks so stupid. But anyway, this is when Roy walks out and he's like, "Time for Wild Wild West, bitch."
This was
And
so
he
boring.
like 10 seconds in, like, and then he shoots a bunch of people, and you're like, okay, yeah, I think we knew that, but
It was like you're
Done.
a cowboy. You were supposed
Yeah,
to do that
we know.
the first time we met you, right?
yeah, he shoots everyone, and yeah, that's all. Tunnel of Death is sucking shit up, or I don't know. It's destroying shit.
Getting
Because
ready.
when they're
yeah,
when they're
sucking
driving
in, but
around,
also
like
ready to
stuff is
blow
like going
dead
everywhere.
people out. Yeah.
So during this, some creepy people go and grab Nick's wife, so Julia. So they grab her to bring her to Kevin Bacon. There's a shit ton of deados in town. Deados is the worst. Once again, why would you do this in the city? Why wouldn't you do this in some remote woods that no one's going to see or know about? And then dead people could just be pouring in. You could just be like, you could do this anywhere. Why would you do it in downtown Boston? Like, that's a red flag. Everyone's going to notice.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. So at one point, though, they're road raging around town, all this shit. Deados are in cars also, like, smashing against them. Roy says, "Deados on wheels," which I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and there was a huge pause for laughter, though. It was like,
and you're like, okay.
Onward.
And then when the car smashes into them, Roy just gives them the middle finger, and there's like a scene of just that. And once again, you're like, I don't know what we're doing. Like, what are we doing here? Because it's So this is when Kevin Bacon shows his monster self to Julia, which is Nick's wife. I don't know why
he do this?
why he does. Ben, this is picture number 6.
Got it.
When he does so, his monster self is like a young CG Kevin Bacon with
He got taller and buffer, but also split in half.
but a little splitty, and that's it.
Yeah, like what is this? Is he?
Which I'm like, so what is his curse or
What's his deal?
whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he the ancient
I know.
like
Is it supposed to be his
architect
old?
of Jericho, or is he a police officer
know.
or a detective who was killed on duty 6 months
Right?
ago?
Is he supposed to be old, and when he died, he just came back because was already dead?
I don't know. Also,
don't
but he
know.
has the bullet wound in his head from where he got shot. So
I don't know. At the same time, the guy who has sticky fat feet is running around town. I hate the noise. He's like all over. It's so fucking annoying. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
They go into the building. They get to the top of the building. Everybody puts the last piece of gold in, and then Hayes, Kevin Bacon, stabs Julia in the back because you need her blood for the machine.
Yeah, wasn't there at some point it was talking about some sort of sacrifice was needed?
I mean,
it was in the beginning, I think.
But it
Somebody
seemed to be
narrated it.
working already. Like the machine seemed
Yeah.
quite
shit
functional.
was blowing around. Buildings were coming down. So this is when it's like a shootout. Deads versus deads? I don't know. Deados and police, I guess.
Look
I don't
at
know,
these
whatever.
like guns that have like.
Look at
Why do
them.
they have two barrels? Like
They're deado guns, man.
Yeah. Don't
Ah.
worry about
What's
it.
going on
Okay,
here?
but when this happens, shoot, I don't remember what I was going to say. I was going to say something.
Uh-oh.
I forgot it. They're running around shooting everybody. They're beating each other up. Oh, during this, there are millions of deados shooting down to earth.
Oh yeah,
Raining.
like
Okay.
a
It is like
Like
if
a
someone
fire hose of
if
human
someone
bodies.
said there are millions a minute,
it's
I'll
a
go,
mile
yeah,
wide.
it is.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's like a black, yeah, like you said, just bodies everywhere shooting back down.
It's like a physics engine test that you see where it's just like
so
dropping
insane.
particles.
Right, like that.
It's crazy.
Calvin likes to play that real battle simulator
Yeah.
or whatever the
Yeah,
heck that
it's
is.
just- it probably took them months to render that little clip of particles falling.
So in the end, so Kev and Nick are like beating each other up and shit. Roy lassos like a car on top of the building onto the machine, and that's what smashes the machine. Which, hold on. The other thing, though, I'm sorry. Were they assuming this machine would just be up and running for thousands of years? Like, they were like, on top of the building, no one will touch it. Like, if someone bumps it, it's done. And they spent 3,000 years making this, and they were like, Boston, on top of a bit. This doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Ben.
All I was going to say is I'm relying heavily on you right now because I don't remember.
You don't remember this? So a garbage truck had gotten thrown up there, and he like lassos it and
How
shit
did
and pulls
I
it
was
on.
going to say, how did the Deados throw a garbage truck?
It was
on
during
top
the
of building?
tunnel of wind that had been
Okay.
happening
Got tornadoed
earlier.
Just
up there?
by pure
It
luck, it
tornadoed
got
up
tossed.
there.
Oh, it goes through a helicopter. That's why I asked.
Is that
made
why?
me think it got
Okay.
thrown. Yeah.
I found that to
Something,
be
I mean-
interesting when the garbage truck this I do remember. When the garbage truck hits the helicopter didn't explode,
It
immediately
bounces off of
crashed.
it.
Oh, it bounces?
It's sort of like the
Moved
helicopter
out the
sort of
way?
like stayed flying, even though there was
Yeah.
a garbage truck smashed into it,
Yikes.
which made no sense.
Considering everything blew up before.
Couldn't
So
pay
as
to make it
soon-
blow up.
As soon as the machine gets smashed, the tunnel reversal, like people just immediately whoop, back up to the
Yep.
top. So you're done. Julia,
They vacuum up,
yeah,
and
immediately.
it only vacuums up deados. It doesn't.
Apparently, yeah.
I don't know. Though the way the city
Well,
was,
and
like
wait.
everyone in Boston was
And
dead
if
at that
Deados
point.
if Deados are like monsters because these people fell through the cracks and didn't get judgment, aren't the people being spit out people who have been judged? So they're not Deados? They're just
Right.
know.
Where
Dead
are
people?
those people coming from?
I don't know. Where do regular dead people go?
because there's
who aren't
not
like
trillions
horrible
of
people.
Deados like literally in the cracks waiting to get blown out of this.
Register.
Maybe there's a long queue at judgment that is
So
a
people just
you
go,
know,
you know
because-
what?
So
I'll
this is
wait in
just
town.
Again, back
Extra
to the
bad
infrastructure.
death for them.
Back to the
Yeah.
infrastructure problems. This is hundreds of years of people backed up who've been waiting in line to
Shit.
be judged.
Shit.
Whoa.
And those are the first ones to rain down.
Yeah, but why would you
don't
like
know.
these people are not going to root for Kevin Bacon?
But here's the thing. It's not like everyone who fell got sucked up. It was like the last people that just happened to be falling, which tells me there are 4.4
Yeah, they're all
million
over.
people in Boston who are deados, who are
Just dead
loose,
people.
loose in
I
Boston.
think they're just corpses, right? They're just
R.I.P.D needs something to do.
So Julia is dead. She got stabbed in the back because we know that because everything is frozen and Nick and her can see each other for a second. They kiss. He says, "You need to go live your life," which I want to go, I'm pretty sure she's
we
dead.
didn't, and also we didn't earn that. Like, we did
Yeah.
not get Nick to the point where he was ready to let his wife go.
Right.
No, up until 2 minutes ago, he was ready to go.
Like,
Maybe I could get back with
I'll
her.
be a deado if it means I
Yeah.
can get back to her. Yeah.
And then the next scene, she wakes up in the hospital, and Nick is like, "I owe you one," to like some other lady and shit. So clearly they like helped her survive. I don't know.
Oh, really? Huh.
Okay, so they had the hearing. Nick got a warning. Roy got 53 more years, and he's pissed. But she's like, "Here's a cowboy hat."
53
so he's
more
not
years
pissed.
until what?
I don't know. He goes to heaven. Is that
Or they
like
shoot
is that
him in
what
the
we're
head.
saying?
They take him out back and shoot him in the head.
Right.
Rephrased.
End your suffering.
The captain, who's like the lady who's been doing all
What
this.
is her?
Okay.
What acting direction did she receive to be like?
I don't know.
Like, be crazy, be sexy, be like baby
Mean?
Be in
voice,
charge.
be mean. Like,
I don't know.
She is
But
all
be
over the
attracted to
place.
Jeff
So
Bridges?
throughout the whole thing, they kind of do this thing of like her and Roy
They
dated.
used to date. Right? It
Oh,
was
no, I
whatever.
know what
But
you're going to
At
say.
the end,
It's like the hair witch.
he says something about her like
Not
being
gonna
nice,
say
and she
that.
goes, "No, I like violence," and she bites his beard and pulls on it, and I hate that so
What did they call
much.
it? They had a word for it too.
I don't know.
I
But,
think I chuckled. It was called she like lockjawed me or something. I can't remember what it
It
was.
was something
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
like, "It's something we used to do." Or
It's something
I
we
don't
used to
know.
do.
Yeah, when?
I don't
When?
know.
In hell,
then-
I would think.
I don't. Yeah, right. And then, so Roy says he got Nick a new identity, and it's like it doesn't make sense. The new identity instead of the old Chinese guy is like a 12-year-old girl with braces.
How is that
Which-
better?
It's
What was
it's a laugh, but there's no logic behind it.
It doesn't make sense.
whatsoever.
And
Right.
also, she's like driving the car when they end, and that's it. That's
Well,
the
we
end.
never found out if the car is actually there
I
or
don't
not.
know.
Right.
I don't know.
What is
So-
time and space?
Billy
and life?
goaded.
Oh, Billy
Why does
goaded
Joe
me.
know this
Joe,
movie better
do you
than
love
us?
this
I think he's
movie?
got this on
Joe.
Blu-ray. Yeah.
He's like, "I've watched
She
all the
Billy
extras."
goaded me.
Oh, I hated that. That's it. The end.
This movie's stupid. This might be one of the worst. I think we've
Also-
seen.
Okay.
I hate that Nick the whole time hates that he's dead, and at the end he's like, "You need to go live a life without me and fall in love and have
There's
kids and do the
no-
whole thing." And you're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Okay, well, since when? Oh,
Also,
It's
if
been
she-
2 days.
if she is dead,
You've
like,
been dead.
are you guys potentially like you could just hang out together dead? I mean, I don't know. What are the rules? What's going
Right,
on?
why
Well, yeah,
didn't he
right.
just
Like if
let
she
her be
dies,
Are you guys
she
just hanging
dies-
out together?
yeah, she's at
Can
home.
she go work for the PD? I don't know. Like,
This, Ken, you described it perfectly, better than I ever could have. You said this movie is stupid. And it is.
it is
Just stupid. It's just I don't know.
Right.
Like makes me wonder who writes this stuff.
It makes
Anybody
me,
can
like,
do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Although this one did, I'll back you up, Ben. This one reeks of like they knew they had a wet fart on their hands, and they just, like, or you know,
Right.
they
They
threw
kicked-
the diaper out so fast, like
Man.
And it was
We
like,
need to
well, we
watch the second
already
one now.
made the movie.
right.
We'll just release it.
know.
I guess.
we need $1 million to finish everything. Okay,
Joe
you
just
can
said,
have
"Ha ha ha!" I
200,000.
love it. That's not
Oh,
an
man.
I
answer
don't
to
think you
"Are
do.
you a big fan?"
Yeah, I think that confirms he has the Blu-ray.
Right. He's got it on Blu-ray.
He's got a poster. We know it. Well,
He's got
we need
the-
to watch the second one now so we can find out
prop.
Roy's origin story.
Honestly, it looks better. It looks higher production value.
It would be hard pressed to be a bigger waste of time.
I cannot believe that 9 years later they
Thank
were like,
God.
"Should we do Roy's origin story of a
Thank God it's only 90
blockbuster
minutes.
buzz?"
Yeah, right.
Like, I would go.
And why would
"No,
you?
We shouldn't."
Yeah.
Somebody out there can't let go of the R.I.P.D. brand.
Well,
They
that's what it
just
is.
love
It's
it.
one of those crazy deals where they licensed it from the author, and they have to make a movie at least once every 10 years. It's like Sony with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They just have to keep making Spider-Man movies to keep the
You
license.
don't have a choice.
Joe says
Yeah.
he has a signed copy on his shelf. So I mean, yeah, we should have had you
R.I.P.D.
on.
2. 4.6 out of 10.
Oh,
What's
Is that better?
R.I.P.D. 1?
Yeah, hold on. What's
yeah. What's the
R.I.P.D.
first
1?
one?
R.I.P.D. 1 is a 5.6.
Oh,
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Oh, no. Really?
How can it be
It's
that much
worse?
worse?
We're going to find out next time.
Joe, have you seen the second one? If he's still on, he probably just signed off or something. If he has, I feel like we need to have Joe on at the end or something. Joe needs a special guest in to be like, have you seen this?
Right.
Yes. Please give us your defense.
Look, I am the defender of this because watching it, I was not upset. I wasn't having a bad time. There was some funny stuff.
I was just hoping for a better ending.
By the time you get to the end, it's stupid. And that's what you said. Would you recommend anybody spend their time watching this?
No.
And I would not. No. This is not worth your time. Of all the D-lists, other than Downsizing.
Yeah, there's plenty more there to watch.
There's so many more that I would actually
Downsizing?
recommend. Downsizing was the worst.
Yeah, that's
Matt
still
Damon.
number one. Still number one worst.
Number one. That is the number
worst
one.
movie.
Never watch that.
No.
There's nothing to be gained. You will waste 2.5 hours of your life.
That's more than 2.5 hours.
I think it was 3 hours.
That takes years off your life.
Gosh, but you talk
That
about
movie was so bad.
Great Wall. Let's go watch it.
Hell yeah!
I'll watch
that again.
I was thinking that we need to have somewhere we just watch again and talk about
Turn
it.
that on.
We don't have to do the whole walkthrough. We just talk about it again and just laugh and have fun.
I like Great Wall. That was a good one. I wouldn't mind watching that again.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in live. And if you are an audio listener and would like to watch this, we have what was the first one with Mobile Cities? That is
Mortal Engines.
I
want to watch that one again, too. That was a good one.
That movie's pretty good, actually.
That one I would like to watch because I want to watch that one again,
We've
too.
talked about it before.
We
need to watch that one again.
We were on a good...
I didn't finish it. I never...
We got to do Mortal Engines again, then.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you for tuning in live. If you're listening to this on audio and would like to watch a live version of this, you can go catch the video on demand on YouTube, on the Day Night Dice YouTube channel. But you can come and watch on the first Wednesday of every month. We stream this live. You can talk to us about these terrible movies.
Blowing your mind.
And anyway, catch us on the Date Night Thrice podcast. I don't think there'll be a session 0 this month. We have vacation, so we're probably going to record our podcast a week early, and that doesn't leave a week for session 0. So anyway, until next time, thanks everybody, and have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
Don't watch this movie.
Don't do it.
Man, Downsizing, though, by comparison, is downsizing took